everyone. So I wanted to say a big thank you so much for subscribing and also for commenting on the last video I posted about steroids. Sorry, not video, but the last post on my Instagram in regards to using steroids and drugs. So this video, I'm going to talk about the dark side of bodybuilding. I'm going to cover as much raw and truth behind bodybuilding curtains for you guys, since I've been in the industry for years now. So going back to just my background, I was into fitness since, I don't know, when I was 22 years old. I'm 29 now. So about 7 years I've been in the fitness game. And being a fitness trainer, I was certified at the age of 23, and I've been a trainer since, but I didn't start competing until 2013, and I did a total of 5 shows within 3 years, so almost 2 shows a year. My first coach, I'm not going to mention any names, but my first coach, everyone probably had the same coach at the time. It was a cookie cutter. We had a cookie cutter diet plan, so meaning everyone had the same diet plan. All the women and the men had the same calorie intake when it came to carbs and protein and everything. So what he did was he gave us a plan. He gave us 12 weeks to get us to dropping extreme amounts of body fat and doing a lot of cardio. So I'm saying maybe 1,200 calories or maybe even 1,000 calories. So, and doing double cardio on top of weight training. Double cardio meaning waking up fasted in the morning with no food in your body. You just take your fat burner stimulant, and you would hit the cardio machine or Stairmasters for about 45 minutes to almost an hour. Then you go back and eat your first meal, and then you would go back later in the daytime to do weight training for about an hour, and then on top of that another 45 minutes of cardio. So that was extreme. We did a lot of cardio. We did a lot of catching up when it came to competing, and he only gave us 12 weeks. So normally that's the amount of time that normal competitors take to compete for a show, depending on how much body fat they carry. So they might need a longer time, but the most healthiest way to do that would probably be months in advance. If you have a lot of weight to drop or body fat, you want to do it gradually and properly. You don't want to just crunch time in 3 months. You have to just start eating a clean, extremely clean diet with no sodium, no seasoning, and no fruit. We had a bad relationship with food. I'll get to that later in a few minutes. But going back to the first show I did, I dropped so much body fat so fast, and my coach didn't change anything for me. He kind of just helped me with posing, and he didn't give me more carbs as I should, because I did carb cycling with him, and it worked for me very well, where I lost so much so fast. So I think that eating a little bit more carbs wouldn't have hurt me so much. So I lost a lot of my booty in the first competition, and I didn't even get to work so much on my butt. Being a female, you need at least 3 days of legs, including 1 booty workout day, but I usually did like 3 days booty the last couple shows I've done. But with him, he didn't design the program or customize it to my body and myself or my genetics. So I did a lot of upper body. So it was maybe 2 to 3 upper body days and a chest day for a fucking woman. Excuse my language. But I don't think women need a full chest day if you're in bikini. You're just gonna flatten your chest out. I understand it's okay. It's fine to do it light, softly, and lightweight, but you don't need a full-on chest workout where it takes an hour. You're doing 4 sets of 12 or more. And so I lost my booty, and I was flat. My whole body was just so skinny and lean. But I had abs. So, of course, that's what comes with when you are carb cycling and when you're doing tons of cardio on top of your diet, and if you're properly following that, So anyways, first show, I got 4th place, qualified, I think. And then went to the next show. I got a different coach, and it was a female coach at the time, and I did carb cycling with her as well. And here's the interesting part about peak week, which is the week 1 week out before your show. So what happens is you normally have to take diuretics. Depends on a lot of the coaches and a lot of competitors, but the people that like to do it naturally do not take diuretics. And what I did was with her, she got me to do a colon cleanse a week out before my show because my stomach and my lower abs were not as tight. And with that show, I got 3rd place. But I looked healthy. I seriously looked healthy. I will post that a picture in a purple bikini. I personally liked that look I had. I was not as shredded as a lot of the competitors that were taking any drugs, but I was obviously healthy and natural, and I think I did well, even though I got 3rd place compared to the other females that were really shredded and lean. But, you know, I had to sacrifice and do a lot of things like double cardio again. Some days I didn't get carbs. Some days I got carbs. And then on top of that, I had to do the colon cleanse, meaning, you know, sucking the poop out of my body prior to show. And it was probably like 5 days away from my show. And I was, you know, the first couple days of peak week, I think you're depleting yourself from carbs. You're depleting yourself completely of that, and you're eating tons of fish all day long with asparagus. So maybe in 6 meals, that's what you're eating total. And then for breakfast is fish too, tilapia. And then towards the end of the week, it depends on how flat you look and how much carbs you need. Then your coach or whoever you're working with will tell you to add in carbs probably on Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday, the day of the show. It just depends on your body. So normally you need at least 3 or 2 days prior to refeeding and filling out your muscles with carbs. The right way to do it. I had to experiment a lot on my body and a lot on my clients' bodies. So I realized that obviously when you're taking in carbs, you have to drink water, not distilled water. Distilled water does not help push the carbs and fill out your muscles. It just doesn't do much at all. It doesn't fill out your muscles. So you end up going on stage looking really flat. And your muscles don't pop. So a lot of people ask what flat means. I just mean like you're deflated. You just look like nothing's popping out. So with her, I got 3rd place, and it was a good show. I personally like that natural healthy body. But there are a lot of things that I would have done differently, you know, just now that I'm over it. I don't compete anymore. Got rid of my heels and my bikinis and everything. I don't think I want to compete anymore. I've done it already. I've been there, done that. But if I ever do a show, if I ever do a show, it would be a natural bodybuilding show. And honestly, people that do natural bodybuilding shows and do testing there are liars too, and they cheat. So they normally get off the drugs and they test themselves to be negative from drugs, and they're able to compete as a liar, I guess, a fake natural bodybuilder. And a lot of it happens now. So this whole industry makes me sick now that I'm awakened and that I'm far away from it. I am very passionate about fitness, about healthy living and eating a healthy, balanced diet and having balance in your life. But I am so against the drugs now. Seeing a lot of people go through it, including myself. So moving forward from my 2nd show, that's when I went into my 3rd show, my 4th, and my 5th. So those 3 last shows that I've done was when I started getting into anabolic steroids, and I got a coach that I worked with for all 3 of these shows. The show that I did on the 3rd one, I got 1st place in overalls, and then the 4th place, same thing, because I was taking a bunch of bar to fill out my muscles to get a little bit more booty, legs, and shoulders. And I didn't take any fat burners at the time. I think she got me on T3. This is a different trainer, and she was a bodybuilder, female trainer. So she didn't want to work with bikini. She wanted to transform me into a figure or bodybuilder competitor. And at the time, I trusted the person so much. I didn't care for, like, because I looked up to her like a mom almost. It was weird because, you know, we had a lot in common. And it was just hard communication because she didn't speak well English. So it was tough going through this last show, or not last show, but the third show, because I was on a keto diet. But with her keto diet, normally keto, you don't go too long on keto. You actually have to refeed your body with carbs. So ketosis or keto diet is protein, high carbs, and sorry, X that out. High protein and high fats and very low carbs. And carbs, maybe only 30 grams of carbs. Protein is whatever, 130 grams on top of, same with fat. So that fat was like really high. And for me, at first, it made me so tired. I was so drained. I didn't have carbs in my body. I was like, I was going crazy. I was delirious and I was craving carbs, and I was literally watching Food Channel on an hour long on a the Stairmaster machine, and just like teasing myself with food porn, and I was going crazy. I obviously cheated a lot in my prep throughout the time, and it showed on stage. But I don't know how I did it, but obviously because of drugs. But I got first place in overall in 2 shows, and then it got addicting. It got to the point where I was very into myself. You can look back, if you scroll all the way down on my Instagram pictures, you can see the transformation from when I was bodybuilding and having so much pictures of myself and my body posted on Instagram, and it was Beast Tina. That was my Instagram before I became Peace Tina. So that was a super huge jump from taking tons of drugs to finally being able to walk away from the industry and detaching myself from this bodybuilding world and drugs. So here I'm gonna start talking more about this, what happens behind the curtains, because the last show I did was when I got 5th place, since I looked so swole and buff, like like a figure competitor, because I was powerlifting. I cheated on my diet. My coach wasn't watching what I was doing in the gym. I was ego lifting maybe 5 reps to 8 reps of heavy weights. Bikinis, you're supposed to do high reps, volume, conditioning. So maybe 25 reps and just like tons of sets. You want to condition your body, not get so freaking swole where your muscles are massive. So for me, I gained maybe 7 pounds of muscles within a little bit over a month. So maybe a pound a week, and that's not normal, guys. It takes a bodybuilder, a natural person, to gain about a pound, probably maybe a month or more. Within a year, you can probably put on 3 pounds, 4 pounds of muscle or less. But for a bodybuilder, you taking the drugs, you can put on 1 pound a week or 2 weeks, depending on how your diet is going and what you're taking and how you're taking it. So, yeah, I went through a really crazy depression after the show. I put on so much weight because I was on the keto diet for 3 different shows, guys. 3 different shows on a keto diet. And when I got refeeds, I had, here, let me go back to this last show I did. I got 5th place. So during the peak week, you take diuretics. So that means 3 days prior to show, or maybe a week or whatever, 5 days before the show, you're taking tons of diuretic pills, water pills. So you're trying to dry your body out, and 3 days before your show, you're drying your body out, you are pooping everything out, you have diarrhea, you're running, you're having the runs, you are trying to piss everything out to the point where your body is dry and depleted, so that you go on stage looking really lean, and then you eat carbs before you hit the stage, and that's when your body fills out. But for the last show I did, when I got 5th place, she gave me a cup of carbs in about 5 meals a day before my show. And I was already swole. I was already full. I was already buff. I didn't need carbs. So that was what had a spillover, is what you call it, is when you you just looked already full, and then you're taking in too much more carbs or too much more water, so you're getting way full on stage. So I ended up looking really swole compared to all the bikini competitors, and that's why I got last, I got 5th place. I was so sad. I was so bummed out, because when I looked in the mirror, I didn't think I was enough. I didn't think I was lean enough. I knew I wasn't, because I cheated a lot on that diet, and I was going crazy. My hormones were all over the place. I was injecting myself. And then the messed up part was that when I got the drugs, a lot of the stuff were not labeled. It wasn't labeled. I didn't know what I was taking. I just believed what she was telling me. I tried to look it up. Some of the things popped up, some things didn't pop up on the internet. And then the last ones were like the injectables that were already loaded in the needle, and she gave me the needle and injected in my glute, and I just remember that I had some really crazy side effects within that next following couple days. My voice started to change, of raspiness, and then obviously my private area was not the same, and it was very, very sensitive, but it was very, a lot of blood flow, too much info, but this is the truth. I'm just trying to be real and raw and open with you guys about it. But it takes a while for your body to go back to normal and adjust. It took me about 6 months to almost a year. I would say 6 months completely. My voice was still not the same after 6 months, but I'm happy I'm able to sing and get back to where I was before now. So with that, I got 5th place, and she forgot what she gave me in the needle. She didn't know what she gave me. It was just yellow oil. I don't know what it was. I remember she said it was Primo. I was taking Primo, Anavar. I'll list everything for you guys. Let's do it. Okay, Primo, Anavar, Proviron, T3 Clen, Buterol. I took a lot of guy stuff too. Oh my god. Like orthogromone, HGH. I took so many things, and I took a bunch of different fat burners that she gave me, but she had forgotten what she gave me in the needle, and I was like going crazy, because I said, what do you mean you don't remember what you gave me? You said you gave me Primo or Anavar or whatever, and she's like, no, I didn't give you that. So I was like, oh my god, what the fuck did she give me, So it was so scary. I only injected my booty probably a total of no more than 6 times my entire preps, because I don't know why I did it. I just did it because I wanted to win. I was already on so much drugs at the point where I was not mentally sane to realize what I was doing, and I wasn't mentally stable to make any decisions. But I trusted her with everything, and I wanted to win, and I wanted to do well. And when I looked in the mirror, I wasn't satisfied. So I kept wanting more and more. That's what happens when you take the drugs. You don't see your true self in the mirror. You see a mask. You see this body that you're never, it's like, what is it? It's a disorder, body dysmorphia or whatever. I had a book on that, how to overcome body dysmorphia, body image issues, and then binging eating issues or disorders post-show. I didn't take care of myself when I got off the drugs and cycled off. I didn't cycle off. I just got off completely. That was a mistake, So if you guys choose to do steroids and choose to do drugs, do it properly, do it right, do your research, like tons of research, and make sure you're getting the stuff from the proper source, not from the streets, and make sure it's labeled and test it. Buy a kit to test it. I would just say, don't even take drugs. Please don't. Just say no. Because in the end, it takes over your sanity. You're not mentally stable. Your hormones are out of whack. You lose your period. You go through hormonal issues where you are not having sex and your thing doesn't work anymore, referring to men. You have side effects. Guys get gyno. Their boobs start to grow. They have problems down there, and it sucks. It's sad, and you can't sleep. You have to take other drugs to fall asleep. You have anxiety. You have depression. I had OCD. I had way massive, crazy OCD issues and ADD. I couldn't focus in the kitchen. I couldn't focus in certain places. having a conversation with people. I just jump to different things. Like I feel like I'm doing that in this video. And then it was just extreme, guys. It was so extreme. Finding balance is all you really need in this prep world. If you want to compete, go for it. You have to just do your research, be smart about it. I have friends that are level-headed and they're using this stuff, and they have a balance. They have a healthy body. They look healthy. They take it right. They cycle off correctly. They're doing their research and taking the right amounts and not going overboard. And then there's other people that you can see it in their bodies, that they're abusing the drugs to the point where they're not taking care of themselves internally, inside out, and they're not eating properly, or they're not getting the right nutrients, you know? And you're building a bad relationship with fruit and foods that have a lot of natural vitamins and minerals, like plants. Fruits and vegetables come from trees. I remember my coach said I can't have any fruit because it would give me cellulite. And I'm thinking, what the I believe everything in moderation is okay. I don't think that completely not eating any fruit is going to benefit you at all. It's going to make you think that fruit is bad for you. It's not bad for you. And then same when it comes to carbs. Like you can have rice, you can have potatoes, you can eat eggplant, you can eat tomatoes. I remember a coach telling me I can't have tomatoes because it's too much sugar. Are you serious? If you're in the gym twice a day, seems like 3 times, but if you're in the gym twice a day, an hour in the morning, 2 hours at night, you're burning a lot of calories, you're trying to get lean and shredded. Yes, of course, it's okay to have a fucking tomato, or it's okay to have different vegetables in your food, in your meals. Yeah, so man, I've been through it. I am so happy I survived it. I am going to now tell you the story about the behind the stage and what you have to do to get yourself to be, or what you have to do as a bikini competitor behind stage. But give me a moment, I need a drink because I'm talking a lot. I'm actually holding on to my throat chakra stone, so it's helping me communicate this to you guys and be open as much and be as transparent as possible to help other people through it. Okay, instead of protein drinks, I don't take supplements anymore. I stopped taking pills of anything. Yeah, so even like Midol, I don't take that. I try to take turmeric, papaya. Everything's natural now. I don't take anything anymore. No painkillers. CBD would be the closest to a painkiller. It's all natural. But yeah, so here's my green juices that I drink daily. I try to drink as much fruits and veggie pressed juices as much as possible, and not take supplements like vitamins and minerals and stuff like that, because I try to get it through food, and that's me being as natural as possible. Okay, so what happens backstage? All right, so you know we have to piss in a cup. Yes, female competitors have tan, they get tanned up, like oiled up, and then we use a cup to urinate inside of because we don't want to mess up our tans. And we have to go through a lot of nasty stuff back there in order to have a successful competition day. But the stuff that we go through, especially during peak week, is just the most unhealthiest thing you can think of, because you're depleting yourself of water completely. A lot of bodybuilder females and males go on stage, especially the bodybuilders that have to flex and showcase their bodies and perform a dance or whatever. They actually are so dry and depleted from carbs. No, some of them aren't depleted from carbs, but completely depleted of water, because they want to look really shredded and dry to the point where they pass out. And a lot of people have heart attacks on stage, and people die all the time. It's very common on show day because they're so depleted, and it's because of the diuretics. I knew someone that actually knew more than one person that went to the hospital from the diuretics, because when you're taking diuretics, you're trying to like piss out everything and use the restroom and just flush everything out of your system, using drugs, using whatever, even if it's not like illegal drugs, it's still a drug. a pill or a liquid, whatever, or injectable, you're still taking this to the point where you have to drink water if you're taking it, because it's not going to work properly. You're going to shut down your liver. You're going to ruin your organs. So these people take these pills and drugs and try to push everything out of their body, and there's nothing to push out anymore because you're not intaking any water. So what happens is, if they go on stage, or maybe a day before the show or prior to hitting the stage, they get really lightheaded, they get dizzy, and then their body just shuts down. So I knew 2 people that went to the hospital, and it was hard to recover for one of them, and she actually stopped competing ever since that last show. It was sad because coaches are not educated, or people that they're hiring are too distracted in their own world of competing, or not educated enough to put you through the peak week or show, and you get super like messed up. So you end up in the hospital, you get depleted, you get dry, your body just goes down, it just shuts down. I take full responsibility for all my clients' bodies and health. I had, rebounding and binge eating after a show is very common in competitors. But I totally was against using drugs. So anytime I had anyone coming to me that wanted to take stuff, enhancements, I would say, don't work with me. I don't want to deal with that, because I've been through it, and I know that their mind is not all there. So it's hard to communicate and work with someone that's not mentally all there. I've only had one person that I worked with. And I still didn't want to help that person with using it. It was their choice. They wanted to use the stuff, and I did not support, or not support, but I didn't supply the drugs at all, because I'm against it now, and I've been against it because I knew what I had to go through, and I just didn't want to be responsible to put anyone through that, and destroying their liver and their whole internal body, and mental health too. That's the most important thing, though, guys. I'd rather be mentally stable and sane than have a hardcore body and 6-pack, and lifting crazy amount of weight in the gym. It doesn't matter. In the end, it doesn't matter at all to me anymore. It did at the time, because I was, all blinded to this ego, mind and body of myself in this industry. But people are starting to awaken now. People are starting to realize that there's so much more than the bikini, and there's so much more to life than just competition and stage. But the peak week is just the most extreme thing you can think of and do, because you're depleting your body from water completely. And going back to after the show, post show is the hardest, because you have to slowly eat carbs again and putting it into your body. You have to slowly drink water. But a lot of people tend to get off the stage and go straight to having a steak or donuts and fried foods and things that they're normally not eating within the 3 months of prepping for their show. So their body goes into shock, and then you go into a rebound where your body was in starvation mode during prep from whatever keto diet and overworking your body and doing extreme excess amount of cardio, and then you end up putting on so much weight so fast because your body was in starvation mode. So when you actually eat the carbs and you eating sweets and fried foods, your body holds on to everything. So I put on 30 pounds, for example. And it was because I was having donuts, pizza, burgers, fries. I was eating everything disgusting and nasty, burritos, Mexican food, greasy stuff, cheese, ice cream, everything, cookies. A lot of sugar was what I had post-show. And I put on 30 pounds so fast within maybe a week or 2 weeks. And it was so hard and so long for me to get all that weight off. It took me about 6 to 7 months to get my mind right, to get myself back in the gym, to get myself back to doing cardio and eating healthy again. And I hated it. I hated weighing out my food. I hated eating 6 times a day. I just was over it, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to go back to a normal life. That's not the right way to do it. If you're already eating 6 meals a day, you have to gradually cut down to, or not cut down, but slowly ease your way back into adding calories in. So you don't want to just eat 1,200 calories or 1,000 calories, and then all of a sudden post-show you're eating like 2,000 calories. That's not the right way. You have to ease your way into it. I forgot the word already. There was a word for it, but refeed? No, not refeed, but it's, yeah. So you have to take care of yourself after the show. It's so important, guys. Make sure you're adding maybe 5 grams of carbs per week, slowly, gradually. That's the proper way to do it. You want to do it where you're not, or maybe 10 grams, maybe less, but you don't want to throw that into your body so fast, so quickly, because you will rebound and you will put so much weight on, and you're going to go through like this body image issue and depression, and you're going to be upset because you don't feel healthy and you feel sick. Like, you really feel sick. And that's how people start going through eating disorders, or they start throwing up, or they start taking diuretics. That's what I did. I never vomited. I ate so much to the point where my stomach was so full, and then I would take tons of diuretic pills, and then drink tons of water, and drinking tons of distilled water, which distilled water doesn't do anything. It's not good for you if you're not drinking proper mineral water. And then I would wait till the next day to like poop it all out. And then I would do it again. I would binge and eat tons of things, like a whole pint of ice cream, a whole container of Oreos. I'll eat 3 times a day, like, pizza, burgers, French fries, and Mexican food. It was just all American Western food. And then I would take diuretic pills again, and I would try to poop it out. Sometimes I didn't poo. But it was so bad, guys. It was so unhealthy. It was just a cycle. It was so bad. I don't know how long I did that for, but I did it for a while post-show because I wanted to eat all these foods that I missed so much, and it was like I was so deprived. So this is a lot of stuff that y'all don't like to talk about, or you guys don't like to hear, but it's the truth, and it's what needs to be told and known because it's so dark. This is the dark side of bodybuilding. People have eating disorders, people take steroids, people sacrifice a lot to get to that body. You go crazy, literally. I know a handful of people, I don't know personally, but I know a handful of people that told me that they knew people in their life that passed away from overdosing on steroids, to having heart attacks, to committing suicide from depression. It's serious, guys. I'm just really happy that I can bring this awareness to you guys about the competition life. And if you end up wanting to do a show, please just do it natural. Work your ass off. Please do, because it takes a lot of dedication to work. Man, before I did my shows on drugs, I did about 3 to 4 years of building my legs, just working out, eating properly, and strength training. And I have good genetics. I didn't need drugs to enhance my performance or my body. I didn't need it. At the time, I didn't know any better. So yeah, I'm in a better place now for sure. I'm sober. I've been sober and clean for over a year now. I am very proud of my success. I'm proud that I'm able to share my story and open up to you guys and help other people, especially the loved ones in my life that I care so dearly about. So proud and happy that you guys are overcoming drugs and overcoming steroids and addiction, because it's really hard, and it's really depressing when you have to get off of it, because you have to look in the mirror and not be satisfied. But that's the thing you have to try to make peace with, is to love yourself and take care of yourself, love yourself, and be good to yourself. Have compassion and know that your body needs the right nutrients and proper diet and exercise without the drugs, guys. Without the drugs, please be drug free. Say no to drugs. And I'm just sending you lots of love and strength and courage, and to just face the addiction, and to be strong enough to stay away from it, and educate yourself, educate your friends, bring this awareness to other people, tag people, go ahead and share my video, share my posts to others about this, because there's a lot of people that don't talk about it. People don't like to bring it up, or people aren't brave enough to share their story because they probably are still suffering through this attachment to their body and their looks and the ego and everything. So I am very grateful and thankful to be able to share this video, and thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's such a long video, but it needs to be out there, it needs to be told, it needs to be talked about and shared. And I'm obviously I wasn't able to talk about this if I wasn't in a good place. So I'm really happy that I'm in such a better place today, now in this present moment, to share this with you guys. But I continue to be a motivational and inspirational coach, fitness trainer, and I don't know if I want to continue being a prep coach for competitions. I actually stopped for a while now. I just don't think there's a, I don't know, I don't think, I think that I don't think you need to compete, period. You can compete with yourself, your old version of you, and challenging yourself and having a goal for yourself, long-term and short-term. But I don't think there needs to be a point where you have to spend $400 on a bikini to get on a stage in front of 6 judgmental people that are telling you you're too fluffy, you're not lean enough, you're too you're not proportionate, your abs are not tight enough, your shoulders are too small, your glutes are too small, your glutes are too big, your legs are too swole. It's just, why? Love yourself the way you are, and who cares about what judges think and say? To get a plastic trophy, or for what? Just to say you did a show? Then do a natural show. There's no reason for you to do an NPC show, because everyone's on drugs. I mean, a lot of you guys might not know it, but everyone is on something. And then, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people with really great genetics and are doing it naturally, and props to you guys that are. But those who are fake and lying about it, I'm sorry, but be real. It's all fake, guys. This is all an illusion. It's just ego. So dissolve that shit. Dissolve it. Love your true self. Love yourself for who you are. Be soft. It's okay to be soft. Just work your ass off. Eat healthy, eat fruits, eat vegetables, eat tons of a variety of vegetables and fruits, and add it into your diet. Educate yourself on the meats that you're eating, and maybe reduce your meat, because a lot of people eat too much meat. They eat like a pound a day, like that's what I did, or maybe more, and that's a lot of flesh that you're eating. You don't need that much freaking protein. But yeah, take care of yourself. It's all up here, guys. Take care of yourself. Inside your brain, your mental health is so important, and then your body will follow. Okay, so please love yourself, take good care of yourself, have compassion for yourself, your body, for what you're eating, and don't be so hard on yourself. Don't compare yourself to these people on Instagram and social media, because it's not real all the time. And I'm going to end the video because it's 40 minutes long. I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you so much for giving me the strength to open up and tell you my story, and to be able to share my experiences with you guys without feeling discouraged. I am so blessed and so grateful. Thank you so much. And spread this video, spread the love, share the knowledge and wisdom with others. Until next time, I'll see you guys in Vietnam. Peace out.